Hello, it is May 11. Welcome to Lofty May Vlogs. My name is Tracy and I am the host of the Knitting on the Float podcast. This month I have been focusing on straightening up our loft space. We moved into this float home a little over a year and a half ago, and all of the other places got tackled. A lot of stuff got shoved up in the loft to be organized, and I'm now finally getting the space organized to the way that I want it. I've often found that it's best to live in a space for a little while before making any major changes. And not that I'm making major changes to the loft. I'm not putting walls up or taking walls down, but I think just trying to figure out how we want to use the space, how it best works for us. It has been good to live with it for a while. The big challenge for me is going to be the yarn stash. In my old house, I had a craft room and it was away from everything else. So if my yarn was in bins and stacked up in a corner, it didn't matter because not everybody saw that. But in this house, because the loft is so open, if you're down on the first floor, you look up, you see it, having those plastic bins really isn't all that attractive. So I am hoping that I'll be able to put some of the yarn into the cabinet that we moved yesterday, and then other bits of yarn will be able to be tucked away in other little spaces. I do have 3 rather large bins underneath the table that holds the radios, and because they're tucked away and underneath, they sort of fit in fairly nicely. I have a bench that I'm going to be moving up from downstairs to the loft, and there's a space for probably 3 baskets that I can pop some yarn into. But there's still going to be a few plastic tubs that will need to be used in that space. So I will still need to figure that part out in the days ahead. But before I get to whatever we're going to do up there today, I think it is time for some caffeine. Today, Marks & Spencer Extra Strong Tea, and I am drinking out of my lovely Rendale Designs Orangutangle mug, and inside the little orangutan is scratching his head, and I love the cuddling here, and the baby orangutan just having a good old time there. Now, the Rendale Designs mugs, when I first started collecting them, were all 11-ounce mugs, like this size. You can see my orangutangle mug is a little bit bigger. This is a 14-ounce one. So I have mainly 11-ounce ones, and I've actually really come to love this size, but I do have a couple of the bigger ones. So today, I thought I need a little bit more caffeine, so let us drink out of the orangutangle mug. And today, what shall we cheer to? I think sometimes we just have to take that time. As I said, I've taken the time to get used to the space and figure out what I want to do. So let us cheer to sometimes taking the time we need to in order to do things right. So cheers to that. Now that I've had a few good sips, I can share with you the little orangutan on the inside of my mug. Craft-wise, last night I did a tiny bit of crafting, but not a lot, and I worked on the mystery project, and I worked just a bit more with the Nora George Yarns BFL Afterglow, and I'll be working with this for a little bit longer before I wind up the next little mini skein, which is Dark Orion. I shared this yesterday. There's not much really more that I can share other than the entire project is in here today. Yesterday I had it on the table. So opening a zipper is not a good idea because I might let the secret mystery knit out of the bag by accident. This morning I was feeling that the knitting table was looking a little bit cluttered, so I have grabbed Nancy Drew and then that lovely little bag that I used from Jewels of So Sweet Violet to draw names for the Handmade Sock Society draw, and Marcia won that draw, and she got in touch with me happily, and I hope she is absolutely loving the Handmade Sock Society. I noticed this morning there is another newsletter for Sock 2. I am excited for Sock 2. I haven't seen it yet. I'm looking forward to seeing it and picking out yarn. I think maybe we can do that together, pick out yarn together. I think that will be fun. Though I can't show you the design, it will definitely be nice to sort of share how I go about choosing yarns for different things after I've seen the design. I pulled this fringe bag off of the knitting table. I had had it upstairs on my cedar chest, and I moved it down to the knitting table, and it has been staring at me. And it's got my lovely array of buttons on it. So here's some on this side, and then there are some other lovelies on this side. Oh, my bee is upside down or sideways. Pop him the way he needs to be. This has a project where I am using a lap loom, and I have had this lap loom for ages. I believe I bought it at a store called Lewis Craft, which is now closed, and the lap loom allows you to put together fun blankets, and this is the instruction book showing you how to use the lap loom. I will need to refer back to how to do this because it's been a while since I actually used it, and this is the lap loom. Last time I used it, I got it all gridded up. I just now need to go through and secure the edges. So the insides are all tied together. I just need to go along and do the outside edge, and then I will be able to pop that off and make a little square. So I have 11 squares total. And it was funny, several years ago, I was going through and I thought, oh, what should I do with this? Should I donate it? And I thought, no, I'll make a blanket and then I'll donate it. I'm still making the blanket, and it's not a hard thing to do. It's actually quite quick to pop one of these off, and it's a great way to use some of these remaining yarns. I have popped my yarn from the Handmade Sock Society Season 5, Pattern 1. This was the yarn that I used for my Shadow Box socks. It is Cauldron of Colors, and it's the Aunt Jane's Festive Knitting colorway. So I'm thinking that I would like to make a little square out of the remainders of this, and this comes with it as well. And this is just a mix of remaining yarns that I have had from other projects, and I just need to do a bunch more, sew them together, and then I will have a really fun and cozy squishy blanket, because these are actually quite squishy. Even though it's very holey and lacy, these are really quite squishy squares, and I just need to sit down and do them. This one seemed to shrink up a little bit more, but if they all kind of do this, can you imagine how warm this blanket will be, even despite having the holes? I think it's going to be a really warm one. So I think today I'm going to challenge myself to get at least this off the needles and maybe even get this one wound up on, it's not on the needles, on the loom. Anyway, that is, I think, what I'm going to challenge myself to today after I film today's material and edit, and then during my crafting time I will work on this and perhaps a little bit more of this. The other thing I still need to do is to secure my ends in my Second Avenue wrap. Nathaniel has a cadet weekend, so I want to take advantage of the fact that he's not going to be in his bed, and I want to be able to lay out the blocking mats on his bed and get my Second Avenue wrap all blocked, because it's going to be gorgeous once I soak and then block it. So lots of things to do, and I'm just sort of trying to take my time as I do it. But in the meantime, I'm just going to take a few more moments, enjoy my tea, and then we will go upstairs and see what we will tackle today. I have an idea of what we're going to do, and it's going to be very small, because sometimes you do need to do the small little things. And it was something that when I was watching back the video, it was bothering me yesterday. So I think we'll do that. Plus, I need to take the letters off the wall because the pilings are coming in next door tomorrow, and they will be hammering them into the ground early in the morning. That'll be my wake-up call. So I definitely don't want those letters falling off the wall. So a couple jobs upstairs today, but definitely tea is an important thing right now. I think it's safe to say that someone is enjoying the sitting area up here. What do you think, Isaac? It is a nice view, it really is. I'm going to ask Isaac to help me for a few moments. It won't take him long. He's doing his lesson plans for teaching swimming. It's going to take him hardly any time at all, and because he is nice and tall, it's going to help me immensely. Is that a guilt trip or what? Yes. What I need Isaac to help me with is to just reach up, grab the letters. He's going to pass them to me, and I'm going to put them in the china cabinet so that they stay safe for when the pilings are installed tomorrow. The nice thing about having a tall son is I don't have to pull out the ladder. Can you just lift it off? Yeah, I-S. And hang on. A-A-C. Do you remember which one was the last A? Because they actually...
This one was the first A, this one was the
Okay,
last
we'll put the first. So much easier than having to get the ladder. Now we get to do Nathaniel's. And I have to keep all the A's in their order. M-A, G-H. It was cute the other day when I was showing him. I told him I spelled his name wrong, and he went back to look. I thought that was adorable. Okay, and A, E, and
loser.
you are not. Okay, so the letters are here, and we are ready to move on to today's task, which is going to be a simple one. Yesterday when I was working in this area, the thing that was bothering me the most when I was editing was just right in there. And I thought it is high time that I clean out this little cupboard, straighten it a bit. It's where I keep the taxes, my knitting patterns, and also some sewing patterns. And I think that'll just sort of help with my mental health and feeling better about how it is looking. This is definitely a sit on the floor activity, and yes, this was driving me a little bit bonkers yesterday. I have this gorgeous Paris book, and oh, the paper in here is so beautiful. And you have to, it's kind of like a Waldo, but you've got to look for Pachi, who is this little boy and his dog. You're looking for that in this Paris hide and seek. The problem with this book, it's a lovely book, but it's too tall for my desk, and it doesn't fit on the shelves in here. So I have to find somewhere to put that because it's beautiful. And I also have these two gorgeous Paris books that are in the desk area. And oh, the paper inside. This one is an English version, and the paper inside is shiny and oh, it's a lovely texture. It's like touching silk and reading a book. And then this is the English version of Questions About Paris. So I absolutely love those two books. They're actually Nathaniel's. But, okay, then we have something that Isaac needs to put away. Here you go. I don't know either. Anyway, that goes in with the DVDs. one of my favorite things is my Benjamin Moore fan deck. And I like to keep this here because then I know where I put it. I had taken this out, and because it was hard to put back in the cupboard again, I left it here to get dusty. And because this is a fabric cover, it got really quite dusty. So I have dusted it off as best I can. This is an amazing knitting book. It's called Tudor Roses by Alice Starmore. And oh, the patterns in here are gorgeous. This is my favorite one, the Anne Boleyn. And there are pieces inspired by the Tudors and Henry VIII's wives. And oh my goodness, it is just such a beautiful, beautiful book. And I was very happy to be able to pick this up. It talks about the Tudors and has the family tree here, and then it is filled with gorgeous patterns, tells a little bit about the history of each, and of course has the patterns themselves, but so beautiful. There's color work, but yes, my favorite is the Anne Boleyn, and one day, I would love to make that. Jane Seymour, oh, so beautiful. And here's other bits of the Jane Seymour. So that is Tudor Roses, and I believe this is the reprint, but it is a beautiful, beautiful knitting book. And very happy I have that, but I need to put that somewhere where it's not going to get as dusty. Okay, let's go into the cupboard. And in here, I have stacks and stacks of sewing patterns. And they're not really organized very efficiently. They're just piled on top. I have the original Robe Bluet, which makes me very, very happy that I have that. And I have this gorgeous, gorgeous vintage simplicity pattern that at some point I want to make. And I've got the fabric for it. And a few more patterns. And then I have some sewing books. I have some Tilly and the Buttons books. And I have the 3 Gertie books. So I'm just going to pull those out of here. And actually the top area wasn't too bad. I'm just going to have to put it all back in, but maybe organize it a little bit better. If you look inside, it actually wasn't too bad up here. I just cleared that out. It's down here that really needs the work. Last week I shared with you a bookmark that I had done. Here is the pattern for that bookmark, and that bookmark is in the book beside my bed. Have I picked up the book yet? No. Anyway, that is a cross stitch pattern I have in here. There are some more sewing patterns, so not quite fully organized. I have Amarisa 2016, and this has the Botan shawl from Helen Stewart, and I had test knit that. So I have this book. The wonderful Kate Atherley has wonderful books, and this is a great sock book. And then I've got some cross-stitch embroidery, some old vintage Patton's knitting booklets, $3.95. And I have an Oh, the Places You Will Go. I should probably put that on the desk. This is the gorgeous pattern that I bought when I was in New Zealand, and I shared the little ball of yarn that is in my desk drawer right here. I can reach it and share with you because they are together again. How exciting. The great thing about my desk drawer being fairly organized is it's easy to reach in and grab. So this was the yarn I used to knit the cardigan, and I would love to knit the vest. I have some of the purple blacker yarns, the brushwork, so perhaps maybe I'll do the vest in the leftover brushwork. I'm not sure though I think it's a sport weight. I may have to hold double. Anyway, that is something special that I have kept and has a home in here. English paper piecing made easy. A vintage crochet and knit pattern made with cotton. And I have knit this blanket. I absolutely love it. And once I've got this area set up, I will pull it out and put it maybe on one of the backs of my chairs, either my green chair or my brown chair here. Everything is now on a pile in front of me, and now I get to reorganize. I'm glad this is a smaller job today because my knees are getting sore and I'm feeling a little bit crampy from sitting on the floor. We are going to put all of these things back in hopefully some sort of more organized fashion. And then we'll take a quick look outside, see what nature has for us today, and then we're going to call it a day because I want to get some knitting done, I want to get some looming done, and I just want to get this task done. I have put the taxes in order by year, most recent to farthest away, and I do need to access these every once in a while, and especially at the next tax season. So I'm going to put these at the very bottom down here so that when I need them, I can easily find them. I have fabric for both of these patterns. I just need to get myself to it. Once you cut out the fabric, you're pretty much good to go. You're committed. And that's what I need to do, is cut out the fabric for the trapeze dress and the Burnside bibs patterns. I'm not sure that it is any better than it was before, although all of the taxes are now stacked. The patterns are stacked. I've got my yearbooks there, and then I have knitting books, embroidery books, sewing books all in there, and at the very bottom there you can see Tudor roses. You know, I think actually this fan deck, just to keep things a little neater, I'm going to pop it there because most of the time this door is shut, and keeping that completely clear makes me breathe easier not seeing that clutter. And so for today, May 11th, I think we are done our lofty task. It is an absolutely gorgeous day. We are supposed to go into a bit of a mini heat wave over the next little while. It looks like it's going to be sunshine for days on end. I am definitely not complaining. I love spring and I love the warmer weather. Out here today, there doesn't seem to be much going on the banks. There is one male mallard duck. A few moments ago, the Canada geese across the river were squawking and making a lot of noise. But even if we listen, there's not a lot of birds singing in the trees. So we'll just take a quick peek and then we're going to call it a day. A little bit of nature, quiet, and sometimes you need just the quiet too. For the most part, it is a quiet day. The Canada geese are saying goodbye. Something's up over there. Anyway, I'm going to say goodbye for now. I'm not sure whether they're laughing or cheering me on. Anyway, I am wishing you a wonderful day, evening, whatever time it is for you. And I look forward to visiting with you tomorrow when we get a few more nature sounds in there, and maybe we'll actually see some more birds or other creatures. And of course we'll work on the loft a little bit, and crossing fingers, I'll have some loom work to share with you as well. I will see you then. Bye. You know that somebody's enjoying the loft up there. Wiggle those toes.